So starting the music, got the playlist or any other music that you want to have on in the background. And then starting in a seated position this morning. So you can come with the legs crossed, or you can sit back on the knees if you've got flexibility in the legs. And then we're going to start this morning with both hands on top of the belly button. So one palm on top of the belly button and then the other palm on top of the hand. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, letting the elbows be really heavy. Letting the arms just kind of really fall either side of the body. And then just gently starting to kind of sway from side to side. So with the hips just kind of moving from side to side. And then finding your neutral place of balance. So your kind of equilibrium place right in the middle. Option to close down the eyes. If you feel super sleepy, then just keep them halfway open. Before we start to move in this morning's practice, we're just going to start in stillness. Bring into your attention any energy that you bring into the practice this morning. Acknowledging that you'll just work with whatever energy comes out throughout the class. And dedicate yourself to just bring it back to the breath. Starting the day a little bit more connected to the breath and body. As you start to deepen the inhale through the nose, see if you can really send the belly to under the palms of the hands where the belly button is. And then as you exhale out, just let the breath fall out of the mouth of the nose, just nice and gentle. So deepen the inhale in through the nose. Really send the breath down to the belly, feel the ribs start to expand. And then as you exhale, just let the breath fall out nice and gentle. Inhaling deeply, taking in loads of fresh energy this morning. Exhale and just letting go of any tiredness or grogginess that you're still holding on to. Deepening the breath. In and out. And in the last few moments of stillness before we start the practice, before we rush into the day or rush into practice, just set yourself one nice and simple intention. Maybe to be a little bit more grateful, a little bit more present. Knowing that the work that you do in yoga is all depending on what's going on with you in your journey. So just keeping your intention nice and personal for you. Being honest with yourself on what it is that you want to get from the practice. And then if the eyes are closed, just gently blinking them open. And then taking the arms out like a T. If your legs need to, you can change. So if you cross the leg, you can change the opposite leg, but you can come from knees to flaps, whichever you want. Arms are going to come out like a T. And we're just going to start to take the palms facing forward on the inhale. And then on the exhale, you're going to see if you can twist the arms so the palms face behind you. So you're doing an internal and external rotation with the shoulders. So on the inhale, take the palms face forward, reach the arms out like a T, so the arms are nice and straight. And then on the exhale, keep the body still, but just twist the arms so the palms are face behind you. Inhale, twist the arms forward. Exhale, take them back. And try not to take them too far so that you're in pain. Just take them to a point where you can just feel the joints in the shoulder just starting to move in their range of movements. Behind and forward. Just taking this one more time, nice and gentle and slow, but using the breath. And then when you're ready, this time on the inhale, you're going to take the palms above the head and they're going to come to touch to prayer. And then on the exhale, we're going to take them down to cactus. And then on the next inhale, you're going to take the arms in front of you to meet in front of the face. And then on the exhale, bring it back down to the heart. So 2 rounds of breath, 2 rounds of movement. So inhale, the hands come above the head. Exhale, take it down to cactus. Inhale, hands in front of you, palms come to meet. Exhale, hands to heart. Option to close the eyes and do this if that feels right. You can take the hands above the head on the inhale. Exhale, really drop the elbows and shoulders down on cactus. Inhale, reach the arms forward, but keep the body where it is so you get a stretch for the arms. And then exhale, hands to heart, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, reach up, look towards the hands if that helps the neck. On the exhale, down to cactus. Inhale, hands in front. Exhale, hands to heart. One last time. This time you're going to reach a little bit further. So on the inhale, really reach towards the sky. Feel the stretch in the side body. On the exhale, down to cactus. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Keep the body where it is. Exhale, hands to heart. And then gently placing that left hand towards the ground. You're going to start to take the right arm towards the sky. And then seeing if you can reach the right arm up so much so that you can feel a stretch down the right side of the body. So stretching with intention. So we're not stretching kind of holding our breath. We're stretching on the inhale, reaching up. And then on the exhale, seeing if you can take that right arm towards the left a little bit more to get a stretch down the right side of the body. Notice if the chest has come forward. So the right arm is going to want to come forward naturally. See if you can take the right arm back a little bit so that as if the armpit is showing forward and the chest is showing forward. And then on the inhale, you're going to reach that right arm a little bit further forward. And then on the exhale, just soften into the pose and soften into that stretch. And then you're going to keep the body where it is, but let's just start to, with that right hand, you can point the right finger, start to draw circles with that hand. So keeping the body where it is, just take that right arm in little circles, starting to really release into the shoulder, the side of the body. Remembering to breathe, it'll get us so much further in the pose. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, continue to circle the arm, but just release the legs, let them be really heavy. Slowing them circles down. Keeping the right arm nice and still. Take one more deep breath in, reach the right arm. And then on the exhale, you're going to use that right arm to guide the body back up to neutral. Release the right hand to the side of the body. Pause for a second with a nice straight posture and just notice the energy between the left and the right hand. Maybe any pins and needles, maybe a little bit of heat or energy in the right arm. We start to shake up the blood flow by getting them parts of the bodies moving. And then on the inhale, reaching up with the left arm. Again, reaching over so much so that the chest is pointing forward and you can feel a stretch down the left side of the body. If it helps, you can look to the left hand. And then on the inhale, reach that left hand a little bit further towards the right. You can take the right hand away from you to get a nice stretch down the side of the body. Don't compromise the breath. Make sure that you're taking a deep breath in and you're nice and comfortable, not in any pain. And then start to circle that left arm again. So again, keep the body where it is. And see if you can just isolate that left arm so that all the muscles around the shoulder and the side of the left body automatically are going to get involved here as you take the circles a little bit bigger. The muscles start to wake. Remembering to breathe. And then gently slowing down the circles with the left arm. Keeping the left arm nice and straight for one more stretch. On the inhale, reach up. And then on the exhale, let that left arm come down and kind of bring the body back up to neutral. And then releasing the legs in front of you into butterfly legs. So soles of the feet are going to come together. If that's not available to you, you can just place the soles of the feet into the mat and just let the knees fall out. And we're just going to check in with our hips before we start to flow a little bit more this morning. So seeing if you can notice which way your hip is tilted. So we've got a posterior and interior tilt with the hip. So seeing if you can just notice if the tailbone is tucked under or tucked out. And you can even kind of have a play and just tuck your tailbone under and out and just notice any difference in the hips. And then you're going to want to come to a neutral hip. So where the hips feel nice and neutral, kind of the hips not sticking too much out, the tailbone is just nice and neutral. And then keeping the hands onto the knees, making the spine nice and long. Seeing if we can create a little bit more space in the torso. Take a deep breath in. Sit nice and tall. And then option to take the arms up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you're going to drop the right hand to the left knee. Drop the left hand behind you and just start to ease the torso more towards the left. So the legs stay where they are, but we're just twisting towards the left, looking over the left shoulder. And then we're just going to gently move to the right. So nice and gentle between the left and right. Left hand comes to the right knee, this time look over the right shoulder. And then just playing with whatever pace you want. Take it at your own pace, going from left to right. Imagining that torso is like a sponge. With each breath that you take as you move from left to right, You're just kind of releasing all the muscles in the torso. And then when you're ready, gently back to center. And then crossing the legs again, we're just going to do a couple of hip circles. So keeping the legs where they are. If you want to, you can even have the legs out in front or maybe in a straight leg. Listen to the body and let it tell you what it needs this morning. For me, I'm going to come back into cross legs. And you're going to let your body, so legs are completely heavy. You're going to let your spine and your body go completely to the left. So much so that if you went any further, you're going to fall over. And then you're going to imagine that your heart's got like a magnet on it. Lean forward with the chest, let the hips go with them. And then take it all the way to the right. And then you're going to take it all the way back. An option to tuck the tailbone under and come back a little bit as you go back. And then take it in nice big circles. Option for the hands to come to the knees if you need to. And it doesn't have to be big circles. It can even just be leading this movement with the chest. So seeing if you can lead it with the torso, so the belly button. So really letting the spine start to move in a way that it doesn't normally move throughout your day. So let it be a little bit intuitive. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And then taking it in opposite direction. So we've just gone clockwise, so taking it anti-clockwise this time, taking the body to the right and then forward and then all the way round. And just notice where your body's holding the tension. Maybe you go round and it feels nice and loose and fluid, and that's great this morning. If you feel like you've got a little bit of tension, they're the parts where we need to use the breath. So really moving through with the breath. Should come round in a couple more circles before we start to flow a little bit more and get on our feet and knees. And then gently coming back to a neutral spine. Rolling forward onto the hands and knees, coming into tabletop position. Setting up a tabletop this morning by really starting to fire up the body. So hands are going to come about shoulder width distance, looking between the hands so you've got a nice neutral neck and neutral spine. And I want you to just gently bend the knuckles, so very micro bending the knuckles, as if you're trying to grip onto the ground. So we're taking the pressure off the wrists and into the hands a little bit more. Really pushing the palms of the hands into the ground, as if you're trying to push something away from you on the ground. And if you push into the ground, you should start to feel the shoulders start to activate. So the head should come a little bit more away from the ground, but keep a nice neutral spine. And then with the legs, to try and activate the body, just kick the back of the feet into the mat a little bit. Start to feel the energy in the feet and the shins, and then placing the back of the feet into the mat. Push the shins and the back of the feet and the knees into the mat. See if you can start to tuck the tailbone under and start to feel the stomach and the belly button start to activate as you really push into the mat with the knees. And then nice and simple here, we're just going to take the hips from the left to the right. So keeping the hands and knees glued to the ground, just sway the hips left to right. And then taking it into a little bit more of a circle. So as the hips go left, you're going to bring them very slightly forward and then round. Again, hands and feet are pushed into the mat at all times. So we want to feel this pose with every part of the body. Remembering to breathe as you move around. And then take the circles in opposite direction. So hips go to the right and then slightly forward and then round. Again, making it a little bit more intuitive. And then gently back to a neutral spine. And then just taking a couple of rounds of cat-cow. So in cat-cow, we start to look in between our hands. On the inhale, you're going to drop your belly towards the ground and you're going to look up. You might not get very far first thing in the morning, and I don't. And then on the exhale, you're going to tuck your chin towards your chest and up towards your knees. On the inhale, we look up, drop the belly. On the exhale, really round and stem shoulders. You're trying to push something away from you so much, the shoulders are going to like push you up to the top of the back. And just moving at your own pace. The cat-cow for me is not my favourite pose in the morning because I've not got much range of movement, but that's where I know that I need to use the breath to create more space. So just moving through the pose for 2 more at your own pace. See, really making a C with the spine in opposite directions. Drop the belly, and then as we scoop the belly in. And then when you're ready, going back to a neutral spine, you're going to very gently step the left foot forward. So you're coming to a low lunge. Hands are going to come to the ground, and then you're going to see if you can use the hands and use the belly to bring yourself up to a low lunge. So the hands are going to come to prayer at heart. So checking in with where your legs are. You don't want a big space in between your legs. You want a little kind of like box in between the legs. So the left foot and the right knee can be close enough so that you feel nice and stable as you come up for a lunge, but the right hip is directly above the right knee. And then for now, we're going to keep it nice and simple this morning. We're trying starting to activate the hips and releasing any tension so that we can fire up our kind of gut and belly area. Keep your hands at prayer and see if you can tuck the tailbone under. So as if you've got kind of something in the right pocket of your back glute. And then you just kind of squeeze that right glute. You should start to feel a stretch in the front of the right leg. See if you can hold that and then make the torso nice and long again. And then option to come up onto the left toe, lift the left heel. Take the arms up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. The left heel is raised, just gently lower it towards the ground. And then on the exhale, you're going to drop that right arm in front of you and the left arm behind you. So we're in a low lunge, but we're twisting the body to the left. And then option to stay there, or option to drop that right hand next to the left foot and just take a nice straight line with the arms towards the sky. Really twisting into that side body, remembering to use the breath. And then gently lowering the left hand to where the right hand is next to the left foot. And then taking the right arm up. So again, you might not get much range of movement this morning. Option to take the right arm just in line with the shoulder. If you can, see if you can raise that right arm towards the sky and twist towards the right. Remembering to breathe. And then gently place that right arm back. And then this time you're going to see if you can walk that left foot a little bit more forward. And then we're just going to do a quick release for the hips. So seeing if you can walk the feet and the hands forward. And this time you're going to release the right hip forward. Option if you want to, and if it feels right on your knees and ankles, you can take your left hand on your left knee and just start to gently kind of ease it out towards the left. Option to look towards the sky if that's available. Again, just taking it at your own pace, whatever feels right for you. And then gently coming back. You're going to step that left knee back to meet the right, and then we're going to come back into tabletop position. Holding there for a second, then again, just checking in with the setup, pushing into the ground with the hands. Really scooping the tailbone under so that the belly starts to activate. And then gently stepping forward with the right foot this time. Using the core, really squeezing the core as you bring the hands up to prayer at heart center. Remembering the breath as you do this. Seeing if you can, maybe you need to walk that right foot a little bit closer or further away. Again, we want the left hip directly over the left knee. We want to feel stable enough so that we're nice and tall, but not too far so that the hip comes forward. And then again, seeing if you can tuck that tailbone under, so you can even place your hands on your hips and just tuck them under. So as if you've got a tailbone, you're trying to tuck it under, starting to activate the front of the left thigh. And then taking the arms up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to lower the left arm in front of you and take the right arm behind you. Look towards the right hand if you can. Notice any tension in the back here. And if you do have tension, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Make the spine nice and long and just see if you can twist a little bit further with the breath. Option to drop that left arm to the ground if that's right for you. Take the right arm towards the sky. Using the feet and the knees and the front of the shin to really push into the mat for your stability. And then option to take that right arm down towards the ground. Left arm comes up. And again, just noticing what range of movement you've got. So I've not got as much on this side this morning. Just checking in with where your range of movement is and taking that left arm to a place where you can have a bit of a twist to the left. Lowering the left hand. Walking the right foot forward and the hands forward a little bit. So you can let that hip sink forward a little bit. Feeling a stretch in the left quad, thigh. And then option to take the right hand on the right knee and just take it out to the side. Again, listening to the body. If that doesn't feel right, just let the body intuitively guide you into what feels right for you. And then gently taking the hands to the mat. Take the right knee to meet the left. Tuck the toes. Bring the bum back onto the back of the heels. And then setting up for downward dog. Before we come up to downward dog, really making sure the hands are planted in towards the mat. Option to kind of like hit the toes into the ground to really feel as if the toes nice and stable. See if you can push the shoulders away from the ears before you come up. So you've got a little bit of space between the ears. Look between the ground so you've got a nice neutral spine. And then you're just going to lift the hips. Coming into your first downward dog and just walking the downward dog out. So really padding the heels towards the ground. Seeing if you can get that head a little bit closer towards the front of the thighs. So the chest connects towards the front of the thighs as close as it can. And then you're going to walk your hands towards your feet. Or feet towards your hand if that feels better. And then you're going to very gently roll the spine up so that eventually you're going to come to a standing posture. And then when we get to standing, we're going to just shake off any energy that we've already brought up this morning. So starting to shake the hands. Take it out to the side. Take it up in line with the shoulders. And then keep the arms there and keep them shaking, getting rid of any of the energy. And then just start to kick the right foot. And then the left foot. And then just start to kind of stamp the feet on the ground a little bit, feel a little bit more grounded. And then gently release the hands either side of the body. Bring the feet and knees to feet, knees and thighs together. Coming into a Tadasana pose, a mountain pose. Hands are going to be either side of the body with the palms faced forward. And then just start to check in with how your balance feels this morning. So before we go into the balance side of the posture, starting to feel connected to the ground with the feet. If the mind is starting to race, just acknowledge that that's what they'll do. The thoughts will come and we're just going to bring the awareness back to the breath. Be a bit soft and gentle with yourself if you've got monkey mind this morning. And you're already thinking of the to-do lists and what's going to happen in the future. Focusing on right now and how the body feels. And then very gently stepping forward with the right foot. Take it out to the side if you're on a mat or wherever you are, so you've got a little bit of space around you. And then you're going to take the toes so they're faced out. So the heels are in and the toes are faced out. So the knees are going to, when they bend, they're going to track over toes. And then we're going to check in with our hips again. So taking the hands to the hips, see if you can tuck the tailbone under, starting to feel the stomach flatten a little bit and starting to engage. And starting to feel the glutes switch on. And then on the inhale, you're going to sweep your hands up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you're going to cactus the arms down, but the bend in the elbow, the knees are going to bend as well. So coming down to goddess pose, seeing if you can take the knees out towards the toes, so kind of the little toes. So they might want to come in a little bit with where the hips come in. Seeing if you can open up into the hips. Hold in there, continuing to breathe. Pushing that tailbone under so that you start to activate the glutes and then gently come back up. And again, you're going to reach the hands above your head on the inhale. And then the exhale, see if you're going to sink them hips a little bit further down. So really open up into the hips and releasing them. And then hands are going to come towards the knees. And then if it's right for you, you're just going to gently lower the right shoulder towards the left knee. And then gently lower the left shoulder to the right knee. And back up to neutral, straighten the knees, bring the hands to prayer at heart center, and then see if you can walk the feet in one by one to meet each other. Go nice and slow so that you keep your balance. And then this time you're going to keep the feet together, knees together, thighs together, and see if you can keep as if the knees are glued together, and you're just going to lift the right foot up behind you. So you're kind of balanced on one leg on the left foot. See if you can just hold that there and really use the left knee. So lock the left knee out if you can. Option to bring the hands up towards the sky for a little bit of balance. And then option to take it a little bit further, bring that right knee in front of you and to the chest. Take the right hand on the right knee. Again, just play with this. Your balance might not be great this morning, but you're turning up onto the mat and you're doing the work, which is the most important thing to practice. Option to straighten that right leg in front of you. See if you can kick it up towards the sky, really lengthening in the spine. And then gently placing that right foot down. Again, shaking the hands and the feet. As if we're kind of like animals do when they shake off the energy or they get wet and they shake the water. So you can just shake off any of the energy that we're bringing up this morning. And then coming to the right side. So feet together, knees together. Really squeeze them together. Lock that right knee in. Glue the knees together and then just bend the left foot. So the left foot this time is coming behind you. Really use that right knee, use the right leg, lengthening the torso, take the arms up towards the sky for a little bit of balance. And then option to take that left knee in front of you across the chest. Option to kick it out in front of you. And then gently placing it down. And then this time you're going to walk the feet about hip width distance. And you're going to take your hands onto each thigh. And then you're just going to very gently let the left hand track down the left leg. And then when you get to a point where you can't go any further, just hold. Drop the right shoulder back. So the right shoulder might want to come forward. Keep the right shoulder nice and back so you're in a nice straight. You should feel a stretch on the right side of the body. Take a deep breath in. See if you can let that left hand flow a little bit further. And then gently coming back up to neutral. This time letting the right hand slide down the right thigh. Feeling the stretch down the left side of the body. And remembering what a stretch is, we're releasing tension, we're using the breath to create more space in the body and get rid of any of that trapped tension that we're holding. Gently bringing yourself back up to center. And then you're going to start to just let your arms go from side to side. So keeping the feet where they are, keeping the legs still. Just let the arms start to sway from side to side. Starting to connect in a little bit deeper with the breath. And then very gently start to slow down circles. And then standing up, we're going to take the arms out like a T. And then we're just going to start to draw some circles with them hands. So keeping the body nice and still. Just take the arc as if the fingers or the tips of the hands, tip of the fingers, tips of the hands are drawing nice big circles. And then gently come back to neutral. And then this time on the inhale, you're going to take the palms forwards like we did at the start of the practice. On the exhale, see if you can rotate through the shoulders so the palms face behind you. Inhale, palms forward. So as if don't just move the hand, move the hands, move the arms as well. So as if the arms are glued one way with the palms forward. Move the whole arm, rotate into the shoulder and take the palms back. Just moving through a couple more of these. Really creating some fire in the shoulders so that we can send some energy there this morning. And then when you're ready, very gently releasing the hands either side of the body. Walking the feet back in so that they meet each other. Place your right hand on the middle of your chest and the left hand on top of the belly button. So doing a pranayama exercise to finish the practice and really make sure that we can go into the day with some connection to the breath and a little bit more energy as well. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, so like 3 sips of air. At the top, you're going to hold the breath and you're going to notice what's happening with the body and the hands. Notice all the muscles contracting to keep that breath in. All the oxygen sending to every part of the body the longer you hold the breath. Holding the breath for a little bit longer and just noticing that silence in the body as it's completely still. Open the mouth and exhale the breath. And again, inhale 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. As you hold the breath at the top, notice all the pressure in the chest and the stomach. You can even push the palms against the body a little bit. Noticing that heartbeat, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Keep that breath held in as if it's like a coffee shot or energy. You're going to keep in the body for the rest of the day. Open the mouth and let it go. And again, 3 deep breaths in. Deeper breaths than ever before. Hold the breath at the top. Make sure the shoulders are nice and soft. Option to close the eyes to bring the attention inwards. Feel that energy spread into every part of the body, setting us up for whatever happens today. Keep the breath in, let the body do what it's meant to do. Keeping the oxygen in the body, renewing all the cells and muscles. And then exhale, release the breath. Let the breath return to normal, but keep the hands where they are. Seeing if you can connect to a deeper breath for the rest of the day. Gently letting the right hand gently come down and meet the left, so both hands are on top of the belly button this time. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Just take a moment to reflect back on the intention that you set at the start of class this morning. Being grateful to yourself for dedicating to a yoga practice this morning, to being a little bit more present in the body and the breath and the heart, rather than a busy mind, which can sometimes be habitual. And then gently bringing both hands to prayer at heart center. Finishing in a standing pose, we're just going to lift the heels off the ground. So coming onto the tiptoes as much as you can. If you lose your balance, then just come onto one heel and then the opposite heel. Seeing if you can lengthen the spine a little bit, feel nice and tall. And gently lower the heels towards the ground. And then seeing if you can lift the toes off the ground, coming onto the heels. This is always a more difficult balance for me. And again, just option to do one at a time, whichever's right. And then gently lowering both feet towards the mat. Seeing if you can feel connected to the ground with all four corners of the feet. On the inhale, keep the hands at prayer at heart center. Sorry, keep them at prayer from heart center. We're going to inhale them above the head. Look towards the hands, towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bring it right back down towards the heart. Inhale, take the hands up. Really reach up with the arms. Exhale, bring it back down. One more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Gently close the eyes. Take the gaze towards the hands so the neck, chin is towards the chest. Option to set yourself one intention to go forward with today. Thanking you as always for choosing this morning to get up onto the mat and dedicate the practice and letting me lead you through the practice. Knowing the breath is there for you whenever the mind starts to race throughout the day. Bring your awareness back into the body and the breath. Gently lowering the head towards the hands if that feels right for you. Bow into the practice, into the energy that you've all brought to the practice this morning. Namaste. Have a wonderful Wednesday.